Look, I don't know about you guys, but for me, when I'm super busy and I've got multiple calls on the board, ETAs can sometimes get excessive, and every minute saved can really help when you've got customers waiting on you. Unless you're stuck in traffic during rush hour or something, the pickup and the drop off will be the most time consuming parts of the entire job, especially if you've got a chatty Cathy for a customer.
So I'm backing out, right? And out of nowhere, there's a raccoon doing yoga on my hood, and I swear he winked at me. I thought, oh my gosh, if I pulled out my phone and recorded that, I could win America's Funniest Home Videos. I really miss Bob Saget.
In this video, I'm going to show you how I keep my pickup and my drop-off times at a bare minimum. But first, really quick, I'm going to go through my setup, and it's pretty much the key to my success with this whole thing. So let's get into it. So it's real simple. You've got to secure 4 points to every vehicle. I keep one 18-foot 8-point tie-down along each side of the bed, more towards the front of the cab. I use these for the front wheels, so when the vehicle's pulled all the way up on the bed, I can just strap them right there. For pretty much all SUVs, pickups, and even some cars, especially the older ones, I'll just J-hook it with the chain from the rear, or mini J. If I remember right, my J-hooks are about 10 feet long, and on the one end is the big J, and then on the other end is the mini Js. A lot of those German cars will have quite a bit of plastic underneath them, and it's tough to get, a mini J or even the big J on it.
German engineering at its finest.
In those situations, I've got another set of 8-point tie-down straps in the side box. If I end up having to use those, I'll just pull them out of the box and throw one up on the one side and then slide the other one to the other side and just strap it down real quick. Other than that, that's pretty much my whole setup. I can handle 90% of the vehicles that I tow. Most of the vehicles that I tow, which are light-duty vehicles, this system I've found to be the most efficient. All right, now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to go through and explain to you my order of operations. First and foremost, you need to have your truck positioned correctly. If you don't have the right angle or you're constantly having to go and reposition the truck, then you're just going to be wasting a bunch of time unnecessarily. In my early days, I'll admit, I had to reposition the truck, 2, 3, 4 times sometimes, just so I could get this car loaded. We've got a nice straight shot. We're on the side of the road, so this is going to be pretty simple. After I get lined up, I dump my airbags and then I turn on the PTO. Now, this isn't a very busy road, so I'll exit the truck on the driver's side, but if it were a highway or some more traffic rolling by at a higher speed, I'll either exit out the passenger door or I'll get out the driver's door and then just walk around the front to the passenger side. This road isn't very busy, so I'll just exit out the driver's side, and then once I get to the first set of controls on the driver's side, I will roll the winch out a little bit just to get some slack into the cable so I can unhook it from the end of the bed. I always try to run the controls on the opposite side of traffic, so in this case it'll be the passenger side. I won't spend any unnecessary time on the driver's side if I don't have to. It's just simply one less thing I have to worry about. Other drivers on the road not paying attention. They're always texting and driving. You never know what the situation is. And I'm trying to go home at night, so that's why I do it that way. All right, so now when I'm rolling the bed back, I want to try to put the end of the bed as close to the front wheels as I possibly can. When I'm pulling the cable out, I just pull out as much as I think I'll need. It's usually about 6 to 8 feet. If you can get your bed anywhere near the front bumper, you should be fine. But I still want to be able to get my arm under there and throw my chains underneath. I get close, so then that way I don't have to pull out a bunch of extra cable. It's more of a preference thing than anything. I mean, if you got a better way, then all the more power to you. Now, a quick little side note about rolling the bed back. I don't particularly like my bed dragging on the ground. So when the bed is fully tilted and the feet are on the ground, I will roll the bed back as far as I can until it almost touches the ground. And then from there, I'll finish tilting all the way down so then the bed goes straight down onto the ground. No sliding. I like to just get in the habit of that. So that way, if I'm ever on a customer's nice driveway, I'm not scratching it or messing it up in any way. I'm always trying to prevent liability any way I can. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I don't freewheel my spool at all on my winch. I always run it out with the hydraulics. I do it this way because then it helps keep tension on the spool and then the cable doesn't get all messed up and become a rat's nest. I'm sure some of you know exactly what I'm talking about. And if you have ever tried to pull that apart, it can be a pain in the ass once you've got it all tangled up. Okay, so after I pull out the slack, I'll grab both ends of the bridle. Notice how I don't throw the whole thing under the car. I take the one and then I toss it to the other side of the bed, right in front of the car. I don't put it under the car, or I try not to at all. And then the other one I'll grab and then I will throw under the car, right behind the front wheel, just to the rear side of the tire. That way when I come around from the other side, I'm not having to like lay down or dig around underneath her at all. It's right there. The thing is you just have to make sure that you've got enough slack pulled out on the cable. Otherwise, it can be annoying having to get up and then go pull out some more slack, just even if it's a few inches. A lot of the bridles you'll go and buy today, you'll have an assortment of different hooks at the end. I cut all mine off except the Mini J. I never used them, so I just cut them off because they kept getting caught at the end of the bed when I was pulling cars up. Now, on these particular 2010 to 2017 Equinoxes, they have a really nice spot on the frame where you can hook up to, on the front and on the rear. So now that I got the one side hooked up, I will go grab the other hook, which is now conveniently placed right in front of the car. I drag it under and then throw it behind that rear side of the tire just like I did on the other side. And a pro tip, knowing where the hookup spots are on the vehicle before you hook it up helps out quite a bit too. So now that I have both sides hooked up, I will tighten up the cable. The vehicle is still in park, so I'm not going to put too much tension on it, but I just want the cable to come up off the bed just a little bit. Just so that when I do put it in neutral, it doesn't roll away and then shock load the winch if I had too much play in the winch. It could damage your winch or even the customer's vehicle if you didn't hook it up correctly. I actually had this vehicle in neutral already. I just set the e-brake, so we'll just roll it up that way. Setting the e-brake in Minnesota is kind of risky business. They use salt on the roads out here so much that a lot of the e-brake cables will rust out, and then when you go and push on it, it'll stay stuck and jammed down there, and you can't release the parking brake. It usually only happens on the automatics because nobody really uses their parking brake when they have an automatic. I typically just try to avoid the parking brake if I can. All right, cool. So now I've got this thing rolling. Now I jump to the other side of the truck to run the controls and start pulling this car up the bed. I've got the steering wheel perfectly straight and the truck is lined up perfectly, so this thing should go straight up the bed, no problems. I would also like you to pay attention at where I'm standing during this whole time too. I really don't move from my spot very much. So once I get the vehicle positioned right where I want it, I'll throw that front wheel strap on right away. That way once I roll the bed all the way up, it's not going to roll back or forward very much, because it is still in neutral. I finish rolling up the bed all the way, and then I grab that J-hook and then throw it on the rear side. It takes a little finesse, but if you can take the chain and just throw it, it'll wrap around the back wheel. And then once you take a few steps over, that hook is right there and you can just hook it. It's super easy. That way you're not digging under the car and leaning over and doing a bunch of extra stuff. Once I get that hooked up, I secure the chain straight back at the end of the bed. I don't cross the chains or secure them at an angle or any of that. Once I get that hooked up, when it's safe and traffic is light and I can get around to that side, I'll jump up to the front of the truck and then secure that front strap on the driver's side. As soon as I get that strap down, I'll grab the chain and then hook that up on the rear side. Again, I will tie it off straight back. So now that I've got all 4 points secured, the vehicle can still kind of move back and forth because there's still slack in those rear chains. So what I'll do is just wind the winch in a little bit and tighten up those rear chains, just enough for the car to drop down just an inch or two. I'm definitely not over tightening anything or putting any type of strain on the securement holes. Now from there, we're on our way to go drop the vehicle off.
Did he just leave that car in neutral?
Yep. Must be his first day.
Now, seriously, tell me why I would put the vehicle in park. Do you think that in the event of a rollover, that the vehicle is going to somehow be more secure by putting the vehicle in park? I seem to be getting a lot of pushback on this issue, and I'm really curious as to what the logic is behind it. I mean, I'll admit that when I first started, yeah, I put every vehicle in park, and then I took a course and it kind of challenged my thinking on it. Like, why am I doing this? It's just an unnecessary step. My only point is that if you've secured the vehicle properly, there's really no reason or need to be putting it in neutral. That's my only point. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I think the main takeaway here is that I have a system in place to keep me efficient. You notice how I'm not running back and forth to each side of the bed? I'm not running laps around the truck. I mean, since I've put this system in place, I've noticed that I get compliments all the time. My customers will be watching me work and, they'll ask me how long I've been doing this, and I'll jokingly tell them, it's my first day. and then they'll just start laughing almost every time. And it also helps with tips. I usually get tips after that as well. But wait, what about the drop off? Well, it's pretty much the same in reverse, but with a few little nuances. Here's the order really quick. As soon as I get out of the truck, that front strap is right there. So I just pull that off right away, real quick. From there, I immediately roll the bed back out a little bit just to clear the bed locks and then start tilting until the feet are on the ground. There's still a strap on the passenger side and it's being held up by the winch, so the vehicle's not going to be going anywhere. Now, if you look closely, as I'm rolling this back, I'm slowly coming up off the winch and rolling the car back just to loosen up those rear chains. The vehicle's pretty much being entirely supported by the winch, but just in case the winch fails, I still have that passenger side strap hooked up. So this thing's not going to go anywhere. From there, I'll just continue to roll the bed back until it's maybe a foot off the ground. And then by doing it that way, the pocket of the bed will be a lot lower to the ground. And then I can just take off that rear chain, throw it in that pocket, and then continue rolling the bed back. Because the vehicle is still secured with that winch and the strap, I can safely walk around the rear side and then take off that other chain. So now that I'm on the passenger side, I can just take that chain, throw it up in the pocket, and then finish rolling the bed back and drop it on the ground completely. I'll take off that other strap, and now this vehicle is only being supported by the winch. That's it. Once the vehicle is completely off the bed and the cable drops to the ground, I'll quit winching. That way the spool doesn't get backfed. From there, you can unhook it, and then I just leave the hooks drop right then and there. I'll go run up to the controls and then start rolling the bed in, and then the chains will kind of hang off the end of the bed. So once I have the bed completely off the ground, then I'll start winching in, and then hopefully those little J-hooks from my bridle will catch the end of the bed. In this case, I got one, and that's all I really need. The other one's not going to go anywhere. So that just saved me a bunch of time right there. Even if it's 20 seconds, I don't care. I'm saving time. I'll finish rolling up the bed, wrap it all up, and job well done. So that's it for this video, guys. I hope you got something out of it. Please comment below. Let me know what you think. Tell me about your setup, and if you do anything the same or different. I'm always curious to hear what you guys are doing out there. So thanks for watching, and stay safe out there, guys.